Today, our goal is to complete unit activity from unit 1 waves. Okay, that is our goal for today. And then it will take around 20-25 minutes to complete the lesson, and for rest of the time you can work on your unit activity. Okay, and then I'll talk with you separately. If you have any question, we can go through it. And then please feel free to unmute and ask me question at any time, and you can ask questions through the chat as well. Okay. In this activity, our goal is to use online simulation to make observation, analyze results, and then from that results, we'll draw conclusion. And then, no, we are not doing the whole unit activity. Our goal is to complete task 1, and then we'll leave task 2 and task 3. Okay, and then after that, you can just complete task 1 and submit it. Okay. Okay, and then whenever you get a result from the graph, you'll analyze that graph and write in a written form. Yes, whatever we complete today, you'll just you'll complete those things. Okay. So let's go through the introduction, and then we'll go to our tasks. Okay, unit activity tasks. So in our daily life, we encounter different types of waves. Okay, and then you can think about different types of waves, as for example, earthquake waves, and then visible light waves, microwaves, X-rays, radio waves, ultrasound waves, and many more. In this typical unit activity, for this unit activity, you will use online simulation to examine water, sound, and light waves. So today we'll only investigate different properties of water, sound, and light waves only. Okay, and then we'll observe the similarities and difference between those waves. Now let's go to the unit task 1. So sorry, Kenneth is here. Okay, let's start with task 1. Okay. So the three most common types of waves that we encounter in our daily life are water, sound, and light waves. These are the three different types of wave we encounter in daily lives. Light waves. And then we have to think about it. Whenever we have water and sound waves, they can only travel through medium. That means they need medium to travel. Okay. But in case of light waves, they don't need medium to travel. Okay. That you can think that in terms of similarities and difference among water, sound, and light waves. And then to begin the unit activity, you will click on this wave interference. Wave interference. And there are three tabs you can see: water, sound, and light. Observe these waves and draw a conclusion from your observation. So now when I click here, another screen will pop up, and then let me do one thing. I'll share my whole screen, okay, so that I can share those with you. Okay. Oops. Give me 1 second. Let me discard that. Okay, I just want to make sure that you all are seeing my screen. So it says wave interference, and then we do have water. Here we have sound, light. Please give me a thumbs up if you are seeing this screen. Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure. Let me, or just type yes. Okay, here. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome, you know. Now let's click on this water wave at first. Let's play around it, okay? Okay, and then you can see here. So your screen look like that when you click on that wave interference, and then you can play around the different things. You can turn off this or turn on, and then you can increase your frequency. See, increase your frequency. You can increase or decrease your amplitude. Okay, just put it here. And then there is measuring tool on the right hand side. You can see here measuring tools. You can measure it. You have stopwatch. You can use that stopwatch. And you have a rotated view. You can use one drip or two drips of water. Sorry, two drip. Let's go to one drip. You do a barrier here, no barrier, one slit, two slits. Let's use one slit. If we use one slit, and then we can move that slit as well. You can see here. And then we can put two slits here, or no barrier. Let's erase that one right now, okay? And then you can vary slit width, barrier location, slit separation, everything. And then you can add wall as well. Let us suppose I can add wall wherever I like. Okay, I can add wall. I can maybe, and I can look, I can make this wall bigger like that. And then I can drag this wall anywhere. And then let's go to this delete wall, okay? And then similarly, you can do it for sound waves. Okay, you can play those things with sound waves. You can do it for light waves. Okay. Each case we can see like concentric waves. We can see here. Wave patterns looks like that. Okay, let's start with water waves. Okay. So do you have any questions so far? Please give me a thumbs up if you do not have any question. Okay, so that we can go and start our different tasks. Okay, thank you very much. So now let's go to the next slide. Now in our question one, in question one, we do have different parts, and question two, different parts, and question three, we do have two different parts. Okay, and then we'll complete task one. So it says start with water tab. Note that the light area represents the place where water is high, crest, that means light area. Dark area represents the low points, mean trough. The water drops should already be dripping from the faucet. We have already seen that. And you can increase their frequency by using frequency slider. We just check that one. And then you can expand or decrease the size of your sink space, clicking green plus minus C. We have just play around those different tab. Okay. So now let's go to the question. Okay. What kind of wave patterns do you observe in the sink in the top view? So what kind of wave patterns did you see? Oops. Let's go back. Okay. Now let's go back and forth. Okay, it's a little bit tedious to go back and forth. Okay, the question is what kind of wave patterns did you see? So look at here, what did you see, and then observe from here as well. Okay, both. You can type your answer in chat. Okay. So what kind of wave patterns did you see? Or unmute and tell me your answer. Okay. Either type your answer in chat or unmute and tell me your answer, or let me annotate it. And then now let's go back again here. Let's put in that way, okay, so that we can go back and forth. It's a pattern, yeah, but what kind of pattern? Yeah, that's, I always forget and put answer here. Okay. Yeah, it's a constant. And what is the shape of the waves? And then you can write in a screen as well, okay, like that, okay. Go to annotate on the screen and write on the screen, up and down, yeah, that's right. So let's check answer. Let me erase that. Thank you very much for your. So we observe series of concentric circular waves. So we can see the waves went like that, like that. So we see a series of concentric circular waves when water drops. Okay, so that is the answer. And then, wow, yep. Yeah, yep, that's the correct answer. And here is the thing. And then whenever you write your answer, please write in your own words, okay? Make sure to paraphrase it. Don't write everything like that. You can see, I see like concentric circular waves, or when water drops, I see series of concentric circular waves. So Don't write everything as it is, just paraphrase it, okay? In your own word. Now let's go to second question. And then the question is, I'll only read that part, okay? What general mathematical graph function does this look like? That means, so whenever you see that graph function, what does it look like, okay? And then what pattern do you observe in the amplitude of these waves? Amplitude is the displacement, the wave travel from the equilibrium position. Okay, let me draw diagram real quick. The diagram of, I'll make a diagram of amplitude, okay? So this is your amplitude, this is your equilibrium position, and that part is your amplitude, that displacement, amplitude. And then our wave looks like that. So I just made the diagram of this wave. So what kind of pattern did you see? Is that what kind of graph is this? You can think in terms of sine, cosine waves like that. Decreasing pattern, yeah, that's good. Decreasing pattern means over the period of time, amplitude decreases. Yep, that's good. And then this graph looks like sine wave. Okay, sine graph. Decreasing, yep. Thank you very much for your participation. Now let's look for answer. Okay, and then let me erase this, sorry. Oops. Let me check. Okay, I want to erase that part. Let me discard. I'm sorry. Okay. So it looks like a sine wave, but but the amplitude decreases when the wave moves farther away. Okay, and then amplitude is directly proportional to the wave energy. That means the amplitude gets smaller when it travels farther away from the source. Okay, this is all about part B. Any questions so far on part B? Okay, now let's go to the another question then. Then in part C, the question is what happens when you increase the frequency of the water drops? Okay, we have to increase frequency. What happens to the wavelength of water on the surface of water? So it means we have to find the relationship between frequency and wavelength. Okay, we have to find what will happen when we increase the frequency of water drops. Actually, there is an inverse relationship. Okay, when frequency increases, wavelength will decrease and vice versa. When wavelength decrease, frequency will increase, because here is the thing, and then let me clarify that real quick, and then we can observe it from the graph as well. Okay, but let me explain this thing real quick. Velocity is always equal to frequency times wavelength, and velocity is always constant on that medium. It depends on medium, and it's always constant on that medium. As for example, the velocity of sound in air is constant, velocity of light is constant like that, okay? And then velocity of light in water is constant in that medium. So that means when frequency increases, wavelength decreases and vice versa. Yeah. I think I put something wrong. When we increase the frequency of water wave increases, yeah. And then wavelength of the surface of water decreases when frequency increases. Yeah. The first part is when we increase the frequency of water drop, means we drop like several water. At that time, the frequency increases, and then when frequency gets increased, wavelength decreases. Okay, let me pause here for some times. Please let me know if you have any questions so far. Now let's go to the next question. Let's move a little bit quick, okay? Now in part D, if you increase the frequency, what happens to the velocity of the wave? Okay, and then read that carefully and provide your own scientific evidence. Okay, this question. So as we have discussed before, velocity of the wave is always constant on that medium. That means even if we increase the frequency, velocity of the wave remains same. Okay. So it depends upon the medium. It's not affected by wave frequency, wavelength, and amplitude. This is all about part D. Now let's go to part E. Okay. And then this question will again go back and then add another second drip. Okay. The question is, what happens when you add a second drip and space both the drifts close together? Describe the pattern they form and explain the cause for this pattern in detail. Okay. Now let's go. Let's go back and then add another drip. So we have to add two drips here, and then let's put them close together. Okay, and then what will happen? So did you see that? So this one is so interesting. Did you see that? Some bright pattern here. We see bright pattern and then dark pattern. Why do we like those bright and dark pattern? What do you think? What is the reason behind it? We have to answer this question. Let's go back to question, okay? Okay, the question is, what happens when you add a second drip and space both the drifts close together? Whenever we add a second drift, that means we see interference between the waves and they forms constructive and destructive interference. And constructive interference is formed in the area where the phase of the wave matches. Like if the waves are in same phase, we see constructive interference. That means like we see a bright, did you see like bright pattern? And then in the area where the wave is out of phase, at that time we see destructive interference. Sorry, somebody asked me question about D again. The wave velocity depends on medium. The question is about if you increase the frequency, what happens to the velocity of the wave? The velocity of the wave does not change because it does not depends upon characteristic of the wave, that is frequency, wavelength, and amplitude. Okay, that is all about part D. Did I answer your question? Sorry. Okay. And this is part E. And then you can check later today, you can check video recording as well. Okay, I'll upload this video. This is all about part E. And now let's go to part F. Okay. Let me make it small. Okay, part F. Part F is turn off the second drip and then add a barrier with one slit. Okay. What do you observe on the right side of the wall? Right side of the wall. What do you observe on the left side of the wall? And then you have to explain it on the basis of physics perspective. Sorry. Now let's go back. So let's turn off one of the drip, one drip. This time we are adding slit. Okay, where is slit? One slit. Okay. Let's put it here. Okay. Look, we can see here bright and dark pattern here, but here on that side we have seen that light is bending. Okay, light is bending, and then we have to describe that phenomenon. So that means on the right side, where we put slit, light bend at the corners, and then this bending phenomena is diffraction. So you can say like we see diffraction of the waves around the slits. Okay, but on the left hand side we still see a interference pattern. It's because some of the waves will reflect, and then the reflected wave and then the wave that comes from the water dripping, they meet to each other and then interfere, and then they interfere to each other. This is all about part F. Okay, let me make it big. Okay. Let me pause here for some times, okay, on part F. Any question on part F? Please let me know if you have any question on part F. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's go to, okay, question 2. And question 2 and question 3 are exactly same, okay? Oops. Okay, okay. This time now you have to click on the sound tab, okay? Sound tab. On the sound tab, investigate briefly all the phenomena you have explored with water waves above and describe any similarities in your results for sound. Specifically describe those. Wave patterns, as you see on the screen, what kind of wave pattern did you see? Shape and amplitude of the graph, effect of frequency on wavelength, effect of frequency on velocity, pattern with two sources, wave pattern with a single slit barrier. That means you have to answer all those questions in case of sound tab. Let's go back again. Now let's put on a sound tab. Okay. So again we see concentric circular waves. Okay, and then we can see frequency of the wave decreases when it moves farther away from the source. Another thing. And then let's put one slit, no, like two speaker. Look, we can see interference pattern here, dark and light areas. Okay, and then one slit here, same thing here. We can see interference on this side, and here the wave is traveling through the corner. That is a diffraction. And then what else? These are the things, okay? And then let's complete all those things in case of light waves as well. Let's see if we see any difference. Okay, let's see. This one is so interesting, look. And we see concentric circular waves. And then when the light travels farther away from the source, its amplitude decreasing. You can see that. Now let's put two light source. We can see, look, we can see interference pattern here. And then when we put one slit, not low one light, sorry, one slit here. Same thing here. We can see interference patterns on the left side, and then around the corners here, around the slit, we see diffraction pattern. Okay, and then based on those, we have to answer those two questions. Question 2 and question 3. Wave pattern is same. Shape and amplitude of the graph is, it looks like sine wave and decreasing over distance, same. Frequency, when we increase frequency, that result in shorter wavelength is same. Effect of frequency and velocity, no effect. Pattern with two sources, circular interference pattern, we see dark and bright band. And then whenever we put a single slit barrier, we see a circular interference pattern on the left and the diffraction on the right side. This is all about part A. Now let's go to part B, and then, okay. In part B, sound and water waves obviously have many similarities, but they are not exactly the same. Okay. Describe all the differences you can think of between sound waves and water waves. Okay, think about what is the difference between sound waves and water waves. I'll give you some time, and you can unmute or type your answer in chat, or you can annotate on the screen. Okay, just write it on the screen. You put text box here. You can type it here. Okay, it's up to you. I'll give you some times to think about the difference between sound waves and water waves. You can just tell me one key difference, okay? And then we have talked about it in our lesson. Think about in terms of particle vibration in the medium. Are they parallel to the wave or perpendicular to the wave? And you can think in that way. Okay, let me answer it. So the key difference between sound waves and water waves are, one of the wave, sound wave is longitudinal waves, and then water waves is transverse wave. Okay. And then we can see compression and rarefaction in air when sound waves travel. And in case of in case of transverse wave, when water travels, we can see the particle of the medium is perpendicular to the wave direction. And then you can think in terms of 3D and 2D. That means sound travels in 3 dimension, water travels in 2 dimension. But your answer can vary, okay? You don't have to write exact same thing, but always think about longitudinal versus transverse wave. Okay. Any questions so far on part B? Give me a thumbs up if you do not have any question, so that we can move forward. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's go to the next question then. Okay, this part is exactly same as part A of question 3. Okay, that means this times you have to click on the light tab and answer all those questions. Okay, and then all the questions answers are exactly same. Okay. So this part A is exactly similar to the part A of sound waves. Okay. Okay, so let me skip that part. Now let's go to the part B. Okay. Now this time you have to find the difference between water and sound waves. Okay. Okay, no. So no, this time you have to find all the difference between light waves, sound waves, or water waves. Okay, anybody? So think about what is the difference between light waves, and sound waves. Any thoughts? You can type your answer, or you can unmute and answer your question. It would be great. Okay, let me ask you something, okay? So light comes from sun to earth. Does it require medium to travel? Think in that way. Does light require medium to travel? No. That means light waves does not require medium to travel, but sound waves and water waves require medium to travel. That is the key difference between light waves, sound waves, and water waves. Another difference, light waves and water waves they are transverse waves, but sound wave is longitudinal wave. And light and sound waves, they travel in 3 dimensions, but water waves travels in 2 dimensions. Okay. And that is the key difference, okay? That second part, light does not require a medium to travel in on light. And you don't have to write everything, okay? Okay. Now, whenever you work through your unit activity, complete all the way from beginning to up to here. That is complete your task 1. Okay, just task 1. It has question 1, question 2, and question 3, and skip task 2 and task 3, and then submit your unit activity. Okay, and then for rest of the time,